Whispers in the Woods. In a small, remote village nestled deep within a forest, there was a legend that every child grew up hearing: never enter the woods after dark. The villagers believed that the forest was alive, a malevolent force that whispered to those who dared to wander too far. But as generations passed, the tale became nothing more than a cautionary story, something to scare the children into coming home before dusk. One chilly autumn evening, a group of teenagers, Anya, David, Sarah, and Lucas, decided to test the old legend. They had grown tired of the same stories their grandparents told and wanted to prove that there was nothing to fear in the forest. Armed with flashlights and a bottle of cheap whiskey, they ventured into the woods, laughing at the thought of the ghost stories they were about to debunk. The deeper they went, the quieter the forest became. The usual sounds of crickets and rustling leaves faded away, leaving only the sound of their footsteps crunching on the forest floor. An eerie silence settled around them, thick like fog. "This is ridiculous," Lucas said, trying to break the tension. "There's nothing here but trees and—" A whisper cut through the stillness, sharp and clear. It was faint, but unmistakable. "Leave." The group stopped in their tracks, exchanging uneasy glances. "Did you hear that?" Sarah whispered, her voice trembling. "Probably just the wind," David said, though his voice wavered. "Let's keep going," Anya urged, her curiosity overpowering her fear. They pushed on, but the whispers grew louder, more insistent. The words were jumbled, overlapping, as if multiple voices were speaking at once. "Turn back. Leave. You're not welcome." Anya tried to laugh it off, but the sound came out hollow. "Okay, maybe this isn't such a good idea." Just as they turned to head back, the ground beneath them shifted. The earth trembled, and the trees seemed to groan, their branches twisting in unnatural ways. The whispers became screams, deafening, filled with anger and pain. The flashlights flickered, casting distorted shadows that danced around them. "Run!" David shouted, grabbing Sarah's hand as they bolted back the way they came. But the forest had changed. The path they had taken was gone, replaced by twisted roots and dense thickets. The trees closed in around them, their bark gnarled and blackened. The air grew thick, suffocating, as if the forest itself was alive, breathing down their necks. Lucas tripped, his flashlight flying out of his hand as he hit the ground hard. The others stopped, but before they could help him, something dark and writhing shot out from the shadows, wrapping around Lucas's ankle. He screamed as it dragged him into the underbrush, his terrified cries echoing through the trees before being abruptly cut off. The remaining three ran faster, but no matter how far they went, the forest only seemed to grow darker, the whispers more maddening. Anya could feel her sanity slipping as the voices bore into her mind, telling her things, terrible things, about what would happen if she stayed. They burst into a small clearing, gasping for breath. The moonlight bathed the area in a cold, pale glow. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient tree, its bark twisted and blackened like the others, but with a hollow at its base that seemed to pulse with a faint, sickly light. "We need to hide," Sarah said, her voice barely a whisper. But before they could move, the ground beneath them opened up, roots snaking around their ankles, pulling them toward the tree. The whispers were now deafening, a cacophony of voices screaming in unison. "Welcome home!" Anya screamed, but no sound came out. She could only watch in horror as the roots pulled them closer to the hollow. As they were dragged inside, the light consumed them, filling their minds with the endless, torturous whispers of the forest. When the sun rose the next morning, the villagers found the woods as they always were, quiet, serene, with no trace of the teenagers who had ventured in the night before. The forest kept its secrets well, but if you listened closely, just as the sun dipped below the horizon, you could hear it, the faintest of whispers, carried on the wind, warning all who dared to listen. Stay away. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't let the darkness end here. Make sure to hit that like button. It helps summon more tales from the shadows. Share these encounters with those who dare to listen. You never know who else might be haunted by what they find. And don't forget to subscribe. Join our growing circle of seekers, exploring the mysteries that hide in the dark. Turn on notifications, so you're the first to know when a new story emerges from the depths. Until next time, stay vigilant. You never know what might be lurking, just out of sight.